Get cool stuff for what you were going to do anyway. Drink beer. With Buy Beer, Get Gear from Labatt, you can just snap a photo of your receipt and upload it to the website to rack up points for exclusive merch. Get points for every purchase, whether you're grabbing a pint on draft, a case for a party, or a tall boy at the stadium. Any size, any product, anywhere you buy Labatt. Buy beer, get gear. Sign up now at rewards.labattusa.com.
Welcome into Newhouse After Noon on this Thursday, February 5th edition. Milo Hoffman alongside Drew Alba. Pleasure to be back. There's a whole lot to talk about here on the Hill. Syracuse men's basketball coming off a loss against UNC, in action again this weekend. Women's basketball in action today against Boston College. Drew, but first, how you doing?
I'm doing great. You're the self-proclaimed women's basketball guy.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the ladies are doing great things right now. A projected 9 seed, I believe.
Yeah.
So Syracuse women's basketball on the rise. Of course, men's hoops the other way.
That's for sure. And, you know, it's been a struggle all year for Syracuse men's basketball. And there's been a couple topics that have come up as of late, and a couple really interesting ones. Of a lot of them regarding Donnie Freeman, and you know, he sat out that game against Notre Dame, or didn't start, and he came in off the bench. Then in their last game against UNC, he was back in the starting lineup, but the team still got blown out for the most part. You know, disregarding that last sort of run at the end for Syracuse, they were never going to win that game really. But Donnie Freeman, is he better in the starting lineup, or is he not better in the starting lineup, like for this team as a whole?
I think he's much better in the starting lineup. I don't really know why this is a question that's been circling around.
But I think it's
the
a valid question.
I don't think it is at all.
Why? I mean,
Syracuse. Donnie Freeman's clearly Syracuse's best player. Had just under 20 points in the first half against North Carolina. Granted, he was shut down in that second half. This is an NBA basketball player.
Yeah.
For a Syracuse team that right now, and most likely, is not going to make March Madness. Heck, at this point, the ACC tournament is up in the air.
Are you that confident in calling him an NBA player?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, I'm very good.
I don't know about he's very injury prone.
With his size, and you know, he can shoot the ball for his size.
Yeah.
He can play defense.
Listen, I think that Donnie Freeman has been very in and out so far in his career with Syracuse. Obviously, he was injured.
What do you mean, injury-wise? When he's on the court,
he's.
I wouldn't say in and out. Sorry,
yes,
word.
But I feel like that's not a reliable player that I would want on my NBA team necessarily. Sure, do I think he may get drafted? Yes, but I think, is it a lock? I don't know.
Locked in.
I don't know if it's a lock.
Donnie Freeman has because listen, the NBA drafts based off of a few different factors, but the biggest one is potential.
Yeah.
And Donnie Freeman's potential is through the roof. I mean, it's skyrocket.
It's true. But an interesting case has been, you know, this season with Syracuse, the ball movement and the games that SU's played this season that have been some of their best have been without Donnie Freeman. I mean, you look at the Vegas trip. You look at the win against Tennessee.
The Vegas trip, by the way,
Notre Dame.
Syracuse did not win a game.
I know, but come on. At that point in the season, that was probably the highest hopes that this team has had all season long. I mean, you take number 3
after
Houston
the Tennessee
to overtime, Kansas, who wasn't ranked at the time but was recently ranked. You lose to them.
All right, I mean, I understand what you're saying. I think Donnie Freeman, I know Donnie Freeman is the best player on the Syracuse team. You have to start him. And it's not like Donnie Freeman is some sort of cancer that everyone's trying to avoid on this basketball team.
No, not at all. Not
so
at all.
why would you not?
So then how come this team looks exponentially worse when Donnie Freeman is playing?
Exponentially?
Yes.
How so?
I mean, I think if the ball movement.
How do you know Donnie Freeman
has not been?
If Donnie Freeman starts against Houston, how do you know Syracuse doesn't win that game?
I mean, you got to look at
you don't.
What it was though. You have to look at. I mean, this team is losing to teams like Boston College with Donnie Freeman. I don't think you can go out there and say that they would win against Houston with Donnie Freeman. I mean, they took.
But you're making a blanket statement. I feel like just because Donnie Freeman started against Boston College, how do you know that the game wouldn't be way worse against Boston College without Freeman?
I'm looking at the game for what it was, right? Donnie Freeman was not playing against Houston. It was probably one of the best games Syracuse has played all season long. He doesn't start against Notre Dame. It was the best energy I've seen Syracuse play with all season long.
And by the way, Donnie Freeman plays more than Sadiq White in that Notre Dame game, and Sadiq White was the guy that started over Freeman.
Yeah, but Donnie Freeman,
I don't know if that
scored just 7 points. It wasn't like
he had the second best plus minus on the team that day, finished with 8 rebounds, the second most for Syracuse. I don't think he was a non-factor by any means.
And then you go to the Tennessee game, though, and Donnie Freeman doesn't play at all. That's the best one of the season. You beat number 13 Tennessee. Like, that's
a good
the best
win
one of the season. Donnie Freeman isn't there.
So you think Freeman clogs up the offense? Is that what you're trying to
I
argue?
think that Freeman definitely clogs up the offense.
See, I
That's
completely
exactly
disagree.
the point I was talking about. Even when Donnie Freeman goes out there and he scores north of 20 points for Syracuse, there's no ball movement within this team. He goes inside the paint, and the players around him don't get involved as much. Nate Kings isn't knocking down from deep.
I mean,
Nate George isn't dishing out assists like he normally should.
I feel like
It's an issue.
Okay, sure. This is almost a moot point right now. I mean, this is a Syracuse team that at this point in the season has to look towards next season, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's no other option, really. There's no other
than literally running the ACC tournament, which right now you don't even know if you're going to make. Syracuse, like, what is in it this year? You know, this Donnie Freeman conversation kind of reminds me of, you know, after you take that final test in elementary or middle school or whatever it may be, but you still got a few more classes before summer vacation, and no one cares about what the teacher is saying because they're already checked out. That's kind of how I feel. But right now with Donnie Freeman, Syracuse, JJ Starling even, it's like, thanks. You know, don't let the door hit you on the way out, because this is going to be a new look squad next year, most likely with a new head coach, and that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just that it's hard for me to skip forward that much right now with, you know, these games left in it. Because, come on, I mean,
I'm on to lax.
On the slate.
It's on to lax for me.
No doubt about it. Lacrosse is definitely taking over here, and as it should, a team that's very exciting. But I think you can't quite seal this season or put this season to bed yet because, you know, it's Syracuse men's basketball. There's still so many talking points. So many things are left to happen.
Talking
in
points,
this season
sure, for next season.
The future.
This season is over. It's done.
Yes. The season is
right,
over.
and it'll still be fun to go to the Dome. It'll still be fun to watch. You know, just because you're whatever not going to make March Madness doesn't mean you should completely check out. But this team is done. I mean, there's no life. A loss to Boston College, you signed your life away with that one, and it's just gotten worse. NC State, I mean, you start to rattle off these games where Syracuse might not have been favored, but they needed to grab a win because of the hole they dug, and their losses. NC State, North Carolina, right?
I mean,
these games you're not expecting to win, but you needed to win in order to keep the season going. And at what point do you say the season's over?
I mean, the season's definitely
unless you
gone.
Literally win the ACC tournament.
Yeah, in terms of, you know, making the tournament and all that stuff, it's definitely sayonara.
You got to pull an NC State and just run the ACC in the tournament.
Right, and I don't think Syracuse is built to do that.
You don't think they got a Burns type of guy?
No, I mean, I think that, you know, you can't really compare Donnie Freeman to DJ Burns. I don't really know how this is, you know, coming up. But
do you remember? Dude,
of course,
he was electric.
He was amazing. I remember seeing him inside the Dome. DJ Burns was, you know, one of the more exciting players in that NCAA tournament run.
Maybe
in the ACC tournament. NC State was a fun team to follow. They're also a fun team to follow this season as well.
Sure.
NC State with
Will Wade and all of them.
Syracuse guard Quadir Copeland leading NC State over there, and obviously Syracuse played NC State pretty recently. But yeah, I mean, this season it has been pretty much wraps now for a while, and it's really disappointing. It's truly sad.
Yeah.
The state of Syracuse men's basketball.
5 straight years after this.
Unbelievable. I mean, the times have changed so much, and thinking about, you know, those 2013 season, the 2010 to 2016, even when they made the Final Four, it's so different now. It's so different. And it seems like even the number one players on the teams are different too. Like, what would Donnie Freeman be on those teams if you go back a decade now? What role would Donnie Freeman play on,
Donnie's a 5-star.
on the teams with Tyler Ennis and all those teams? Right, he would have started, but I'm curious to see what role he would have played and how much better or worse, not better, but how, like, what level is Donnie Freeman compared to those players?
I just don't know why.
Has the level of 5-star for Syracuse just kind of declined?
You really point to this season as Donnie Freeman's the reason why this team struggled.
I don't point to the season.
Well, you brought him up now twice.
So how could you ignore the facts, Drew?
He's averaging 19 and 8.
Yeah, but do you see the games that Syracuse is playing? Do you see
yeah, I'm
how they
watching
look
it.
on the floor?
I
It's
see
abysmal.
Donnie Freeman put up double-digit points in every game but one this season. 20
Okay.
points in most of the games.
Okay, LaMelo Ball's still going to put up buckets for the Hornets, and they're not always going to win.
Yeah, and LaMelo Ball is not the reason the Hornets aren't winning.
No, it's true, but
You know who is the
But
reason?
here's the thing.
J.J. Starling for Syracuse, who...
I'm
how
just-
many points did he put up last
I'm
game?
just
if
curious.
we're talking about, he's the senior.
how could you ignore the fact that Donnie Freeman, when he's not playing, the team looks better?
I don't think so.
How? Look at the games. Look at the results.
I'm looking at the results. I see a blowout loss to Iowa State without Donnie Freeman. I see, a 10-point loss to Kansas, and you take Houston close. I think with Donnie Freeman, that's closer. I think those games go in Syracuse's favor.
Okay, so then how come SU hasn't done it against significantly worse teams with Donnie Freeman?
Because
on
this
the
is a
court?
new team with clearly...
It's a new team with or without Donnie Freeman.
I'm saying the team dynamic right now is so far down. Like, it doesn't matter. It's not a Freeman problem.
I agree it's not a Donnie Freeman problem, but I think that it's hard to ignore what's happened on the court, and it's hard, and there's clearly a reason why head coach Adrian Autry sat Donnie Freeman when, they were going up against Notre Dame. That was talked about probably throughout the entire week, and that's what they decided to do, and it worked. And it worked. It was one of the better games SU's played all season long. So there's a reason why that's
A close win to Notre Dame should not be one of the best performances.
I wouldn't say 14 points is necessarily a close win.
It was single digits for
that's a game
there.
that Syracuse had control of most of the time, and they beat Notre Dame obviously, but in the long run,
Which Donnie Freeman was a part in that.
Yes, he was a part of that, but he didn't start.
He didn't start. He played more minutes than White.
Right, but he
had
didn't
the
come
second
in
most
until the
rebounds.
11-minute mark of the first half.
I understand that, and
I
I see where you're coming from. There's nothing to me that indicates that Donnie Freeman, with or without Freeman's the difference.
It's just hard to ignore the facts. It's hard.
You know what I think the
ignore
problem
the results.
is? I think the problem is the backcourt for Syracuse has been atrocious. When you thought that was going to be a strength.
Like Nate George, J.J. Starling. I mean, Nate George has been one of the more up and down players that this team has had this season. And, when he does well, he does well. And, he had 10 assists and no turnovers against Notre Dame. He had only 4 assists against North Carolina in their last game. SC only had 7 assists total against the Tar Heels. When you're struggling, and head coach Adrian Autry has said this before, when you're struggling as a point guard, a lot of it does lean on the point guard. Or when you're struggling as a team to dish out assists, a lot of it does, come back to the point guard and the struggles and moving the ball and working it inside and out.
Kind of nitpicking there. We're talking about a guy where his MO was he can dish the rock, and yet he's only averaging 1 assist fewer than he did last year, and he's averaging more than he was a couple times ago.
Yeah. So I think that listen, it's a tough situation, but Nate George has been. He struggled. He struggled, and that's definitely the case. And it's difficult because he came over from Georgia Tech, like you say, led the ACC in assists, and now he just hasn't really been the same player. And I think he's feeling a lot of that pressure from Nate George.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a step aside here on Newhouse After Noon, but be right back with you after this short break. So don't go anywhere. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. What?
So right now, let's see. You guys have a couple minutes until you're back on.
Okay.
But I'll count you back in when you guys get back on.
Perfect.
Cool.
I wonder if we can avoid getting cut. It's weird not being able to hear anything.
Very, very. This is like
We're just like talking into a
very
void.
odd. I feel like you're like whispering.
Me?
Yeah.
Do you want me to turn it up?
Yeah, turn it up a little bit. You're like talking really low.
No, I think your headset's low. Because I can hear me crackle when I'm here.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're one, right?
Yeah, that audio's a little peaky.
Yeah.
Can I back down?
That better, Mo?
Yeah.
Test?
Yeah, that's good.
You can hear me now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Snoop G-Man says team looks better with Donnie off the bench. I agree.
Who's that?
Snoop G-Man on Twitch. What?
Women's basketball.
What do you gotta lock in here, bud?
Hello to our Twitch audience.
Yeah.
How's your day been going, Milo?
It's been great. It's been good.
You ready to talk some women's basketball?
Oh yeah.
I think we should bounce around. Don't keep it on it too long because I don't know how many people care. But we can keep it moving.
When you cooking up a
When are we back on here?
I don't know.
About a minute.
Okay.
Cool.
Are you serious?
What?
Okay, cool.
Let's do this.
Seconds. 5.
Welcome back into Newhouse After Noon. Drew Alba alongside Milo Hoffman with you until 4 p.m. talking some Syracuse hoops before the break. It was some men's basketball. Now let's touch on the women's side real quick. I mentioned to open the show, you're the women's basketball aficionado over here. The number 9 seed Orange, that's the projection right now in March. Since the Asia Fair left a couple years ago, hasn't been the same team. And now all of a sudden, there are so many options for Syracuse because even on that DeAsia Fair squad, it was really fair and then kind of a supporting cast.
Oh, yeah.
You can point to probably 3 main contributors for Syracuse where you can give them the rock and they can do something. And Layla Filia, Dominique Darius, and Uche Izoje.
I mean, yeah, those are the 3 players that you really look out for when you're watching Syracuse women's basketball. It's Darius, Filia, Izoje, and then that's not even mentioning Sophie Burrows.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, who is one of the veterans on this team, and she's
But would you
really
put her in the 3-headed monster category?
Well, I think at the beginning of the season, you definitely would have had her in the 3-headed monster
No, I agree with
category.
that. I agree with that. But would you, at this point in the year, put Sophie Burrows in that same tier 1? Give them the ball.
Definitely not. I think Sophie Burrows is starting to pick it up, and she's starting to really knock down her threes. And if Sophie Burrows can become consistent from downtown, that's good news for the Syracuse squad, because they have, they have those 3 players in Filia, Darius, and Izoje, but lacking some of that outside, attack, the ability to knock down the 3. And Sophie Burrows is probably the best pure shooter on this team. So if she starts to get going, then this SU squad's really going to be dangerous. I mean, yeah, because they play Boston College today, which is the worst team in the ACC, have lost 16 games in a row.
Woo.
Have the Eagles.
4-20, by the way.
Absolutely abysmal is Boston College. And the good news for Syracuse is that they actually play them twice. So they play them in the last game of the season as well. So tonight at 6, and then to round out the campaign. But squeezed in between those games are a couple really, really tough games that are going to be swing games and decide where Syracuse women's basketball will end up this season.
How is Boston College so bad?
They're really, really struggling.
I'm looking at it right now, and Boston College lost to Quinnipiac by a score of 76-49.
Yeah.
Lost to Holy Cross. Holy heck, what is that? I mean, my goodness.
Yeah.
This Boston College team is not good at basketball. For an ACC team going 4-20 at this point in the year.
Thanks, Drew. Yeah.
Yeesh.
I'm sure they're, 4 wins is not good at all. And they are really struggling.
So pencil that in. And then you got Louisville, which all of a sudden you go from Boston College to maybe the best team in the ACC.
Definitely the hardest game Syracuse is going to have to round out its season. But there are a couple other games that are really sticking out to me, and that's NC State, Clemson, and Notre Dame.
That'd be 3 games.
Yeah, 3 games. A couple games that are, a few games that are really standing out to me. There's Pittsburgh sprinkled in there. That's the 2nd worst team in the ACC. So 7 games to go. I think SU needs to take at least 4 of them to really feel good about their tournament chances. So that's 2 wins against Boston College plus a win against either NC State, Notre Dame, Clemson, or Louisville. You got to take 2 of those. And I think you feel comfortable about your spot in the NCAA tournament. It's going to be tough, though, to win some of those games. Number 6, Louisville is unbelievable. 7 players averaging at least 8 points on Louisville. Just the depth on that team is unbelievable. Over 80 points scored per game for the Cardinals. That's going to be a tough one on Super Bowl Sunday for Syracuse.
Well, yeah, I'm sure everyone's going to be locked. It's before the Super Bowl. So you still got time, a noon PM tip there.
Exactly. And then, Clemson and NC State and Notre Dame are also really tough games. Notre Dame obviously has Hannah Hidalgo, who's the 2nd best scorer in all of the nation. 25 points per game for Hannah Hidalgo. You got to stop her if you want a chance at winning that game. So she's a wrecking ball, and it's going to be tough to stop Hidalgo. And SU's really going to want to take that game over in South Bend to have a decent shot of feeling good about their NCAA tournament hopes. But give me 4 wins for the Cuse, and I think they can make the dance.
3 wins I still think might get them there, too.
So that's 2 wins
against teams you're going to win against.
Right.
And then you need 1 more.
No, because Pitt is a game that Syracuse also has to win. Yeah, and they play Boston College twice.
Right. So
that's 3 wins against the 2 worst teams in the ACC.
So you think if you lose against NC State, Clemson, Notre Dame, and Louisville, you're still in?
I think
on right at the edge.
It definitely makes it more tough. But maybe possible.
Sure.
Maybe possible.
Yeah, all of a sudden, the women's basketball team really picking up the slack for the men's hoops team over the last few years.
Yeah, and that's been the case for, like you said, last few years, a while now, because under head coach Adrian Autry, the Syracuse men's basketball team hasn't done much. I mean, there's that 120-win season when he first took over, but after that, it's been pretty silent.
silent would be the word, and I think, transitioning back to men's hoops really quick, I think that there's got to be some sort of change. Anything but silent this offseason. Something has to happen.
Yeah, it's...
Because Coach Red has had his leash. I mean, he's had his time.
Yeah.
And it's almost like he's a nice guy. I've had chances just, to talk to him, and he's clearly knows basketball. His players like him.
So.
His players like him. But there's just something about it where it's like there's something missing.
It's the
intensity, maybe.
I don't know about intensity, but it's
there's a spark where in like big moments the teams flounder.
It's because the culture around the team has really started to decrease. It's been a subject and a part of the team that's been on a steady decline for a while now. And when Autry took over a couple of years ago, it sort of, it felt like it was going to be a promising beginning.
It's just
a promising
missing something.
Start, and now,
this team is missing something.
For sure.
It's like your sandwich without the mayo.
Well, you can have a sandwich without mayo.
You can.
Yeah.
You're right.
Right. But I guess that's the sandwich that SU is eating right now.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying without the mayo, it's just, you're missing something. It's like, why is this bread so dry? Why is, it just, you're still eating the sandwich, but it feels like you're missing something. By the way, I used to not be a mayo guy. Complete 180.
I'm in the same exact boat.
Really?
Yeah. I used to not like mayo at all.
And to be honest, I say I don't like mayo. I don't know if I ever tried mayo, but like I said, I didn't like mayo. It is kind of not. Like when you think it's just oil and egg.
It's right. Like, it's not too appetizing.
What are we doing here?
Right.
But no, it's
kind of like Syracuse, right? Like, what are we doing here?
Right.
Kinda.
Like on paper, it looks pretty. Like it's like a turkey sandwich. You don't even notice the mayo.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe you got some bacon, some lettuce hanging out. It's like, okay, Sadiq White's coming in.
Yeah,
you got Donnie Freeman.
Nate King's, all the transfers.
Right. And then, you take the first few bites and you're like, it's okay. And then as the sandwich goes on, you're like,
all right, this needs mayo.
This needs some, keep with the food analogy.
Yeah.
You made chicken last night, Milo.
I did.
And quick story time. Milo, you've gotten a lot better at cooking.
I've gotten to know the air fryer very well. I'll say that. That's my biggest thing.
What do you call it, an appliance? What an appliance!
Oh my!
Whoever created
one of the best inventions out there, to be honest. It's amazing.
Do you think it's a top 500 invention ever?
We had these conversations,
but not about the air fryer.
Yeah, it's true.
And when I say ever,
top 5 inventions
I literally mean ever. So penicillin would be a top 5, and the iPhone would sneak into the top 20.
Right.
Does air fryer make 500? I don't know, but
it's tough. It's probably not, because a lot of people don't even know what an air fryer is. Like a lot of people, I
they're
say
coming
I'm using
around
the air fryer, and they're like, "What's an air fryer?
Right.
Are you frying? Like what?" No, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
If you're not too savvy in the kitchen, get yourself an air fryer.
But something the air fryer doesn't do? It doesn't season your food.
It's true.
You still got to season it. And yesterday, let's just say you oversalted the chicken a little bit.
It was oversalted for sure.
It
had a little tang, a little zip.
And again, bite 1, it was like, okay.
Right.
And bite 2 and 3, and all of a sudden it's like, oh,
it's
God.
That's a good, because you know what? Bite 1, I didn't really taste.
Right. I need some water.
Yeah. My mouth is still kind of recovering a little bit.
Syracuse, I don't know if Syracuse is either without the mayo, as in there's something missing,
right?
Or is there too much?
Too much seasoning?
Is there too much seasoning? Is there too much of a good thing? Like Donnie Freeman. You take Freeman out.
Yeah.
Is that the extra salt?
It's too much salt with Donnie Freeman. Take him out, and then it's just right. And it works because, listen, without the salt,
I'm not saying I'm with you. I'm more on the mayo train.
It sounded like you're with me there for a second.
Are you more on the salt train?
I'm more on the side that when you take the salt out, the other ingredients need to step up. They need to play their game, and that's exactly what happens when Donnie Freeman is not on the floor.
So what we've learned is Milo can't season food.
The Nate George is the pepper or whatever, the other seasoning.
We're talking about chicken now. Lettuce.
Right. Oh, okay. So
the sandwich analogy had lettuce. The chicken analogy is spicy. Let's keep up. I do. So, we're all fun and games here on Newhouse After Noon.
How are you going to transition from that?
But
it's a tough one.
I got it. Don't worry about it. Do you think Syracuse's problem is there's too much of a good thing? There's too many zone switches. We're playing full court press. Now we're playing zone. Now we're playing man. We have 6 guys off the bench that can play. We have Adrian Autry saying X amount of things during pre, post, half. So many things are happening. Or do you think there's a missing ingredient? There needs to be a different coach. There needs to be this type of player that Syracuse doesn't have right now.
Yeah.
What boat would you fall into? I'd fall into Syracuse needs something else. I think their base is fine. The nucleus is there. There needs to be that whipped cream, that cherry on top
I would agree
of a
with
good
you.
product.
Yeah.
So you're on the Mayo train.
I think you need to add something. You do
Not
need to add
detract.
something, not subtract, because you're
Or
right, the team does look good.
subtract and
Subtract
both.
and add, like
Yeah.
both.
Like maybe we
It's very subject.
right. Like we get rid of the tomatoes and add the mayo.
Yeah, listen. the
And
team
tomatoes
is-
are
the-
red.
The team is going to be.
Not to insinuate anything there. But.
Yeah, wow, you must be really hungry right now. The team is really. It's a good base, like you said, and they've got good ingredients, and they've got what you need to be a good team. It's probably the most talented Syracuse men's basketball team that's been since, I don't know, 2016 maybe, when they made the Final Four. It's been like this for a while. Definitely the most talented basketball team since Adrian Autry has been here. And there's been a couple other talented teams, when they made the tournament with Buddy Boeheim and all those teams. But, there needs to be a switch, and you were kind of hinting at it before, and obviously one of the big ingredients is the coach. So it's valid to bring up, and obviously it's been the talk of the town for a while now, Adrian Autry and his status with the team and what's it going to look like going forward. It's a good point to bring up. Does there need to be a little switch regarding that area of Syracuse men's basketball? Because it's a big ingredient. It makes or breaks the meal.
The team, the sandwich, whatever analogy you want to run with. Completely agree. At this point, I'm not wild hack. I'm not going to make the call, but at some point, something has to change.
Yeah, and I think that it all comes down to the game plan,
right?
And
now,
who is gonna put the best game plan out for Syracuse men's basketball,
right? And with that being said, the sandwich has already been made for this year. Like, we already got the chips on the plate. We're sitting down.
Right.
Hey,
you've already placed your order.
We're not going back and changing the mayo.
I do not like those people. Those people that are like, yeah, I'm going to take the sandwich without the mayo, lettuce, cheese,
I do
or
that.
tomato.
I do that. Not that much, but I customize when I order.
Right, so I'm saying the waiter's not coming back to the table right now and saying we're switching.
But if you go to a sandwich and you're like, I want the number 33, the Reuben, I would go I want the 33, the Reuben, with added blank and without this. I like to customize.
I do that too. But when you make the full edit, that's a little ridiculous.
Sure, Reuben, no cheese, no lettuce, no.
Exactly. And there is no edits being made right now to Syracuse.
Right, it's over.
Done.
Let the season finish out, and then if you need to make a move, you need to make a move. All right, we're talking hoops here on Newhouse After Noon. Q Sports Talk, Drawbaugh alongside Milo Hoffman with you until 4 p.m. We can stick on the court real quick and talk some quick hoops before transition. Knicks win yesterday in a thriller 134-127 over the Nuggets. An overtime win. Karl Anthony Towns still the subject, even though right now New York, 8-game winning streak?
Yeah.
And the conversation still surrounds, does Karl Anthony Towns get traded? Does he stay? Do the Knicks make an addition? You're a big Knicks fan, Milo, and right now I think the team is gelling. Why would you switch things up?
The team is going to be forced to switch things up now, actually, and they actually have switched things up with a trade very recently, actually, a couple hours ago. Jose Alvarado
does that really switch
to the Knicks?
You know what
now,
I mean?
It doesn't move the needle in a massive way.
And a cat trade would.
A cat trade definitely would, but
Undoubtedly.
I don't think you trade Cat now. I think that's sort of
Not only would it move the needle, I mean, you're getting a whole different record player at that point.
right. It is a different team without Cat, and I don't think that you should,
trade Cat to the Wizards at this point.
Trade him to the Wizards. Put him on. The Wizards are really doing well right now in terms of bringing in players.
Yeah,
Trae
but
Young,
what
Anthony
is the
Davis.
plan?
I know, it's like 2018 all over again.
Okay, I mean, yeah. So the Knicks beat the Nuggets 134-127. Talking hoops here on Newhouse After Noon. After the break, switching it up onto the field. Syracuse lacrosse game number 2 on Saturday on Newhouse After Noon. Right after this.
All right.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, that segment went a little long, but yeah, I mean, so the next couple of segments might be a little bit shorter.
Okay. When do you want to?
When you get back, like, probably just that one conversation, wrap that up, and then cut it to a final break.
Yeah, basically when you come back, you're probably going to want to be out by like 46.
Okay.
And then come back at like 51, 52, and then just be out by the top of the hour, basically.
Okay, so be out by 4.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Cool. I'll count you guys back.
Yeah.
Right now, yeah, I mean, you guys have plenty of time. Yeah, it's like 3 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
So if there's no mayo, Milo, what condiments are we rolling with? Have you ever done the thing where avocado's almost like the mayo?
Like you spread the avocado?
Yeah, it's like it
Well,
kind of
I love an avocado toast.
right, but imagine
without.
that, but without the mayo. It's like the avocado's the moisture that you need or whatever.
Yeah, no, I've never done that.
But you can see how that
I've
can
done
work.
avocado toast. Yeah, it could work. Avocado's nice and creamy. You know, it's
Right, that's what I mean.
yeah. I think it could be good. But
Yeah.
avocado's like very. You know, you never just have a.
Are you about to diss an avocado?
No. I was gonna say you never just have avocado or you never just have mayo on bread, right? Like,
Okay,
it's a
yeah,
weird
we're
sandwich.
wrapping this. I
No, no.
understand what you're saying, but,
And
it's-
but you do
everyone
have
agree-
avocado
everyone
on
agrees
bread.
with you.
You do
so.
have avocado
That's
on
not
bread.
what I was
so I
saying.
think avocado is a little too much for like a
Right.
baseline ingredient like that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But avocado is pretty neutral tasty.
You know what I'm saying? Pick it up,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's pretty neutral.
it is.
I'll tell you a quick story about an avocado. So, at the fair, you know, have you ever been to a fair?
Yes, I've been
Of course,
to
the
a fair.
New York State Fair is right here in Syracuse.
Yeah.
But Miles from the Big Apple, who knows what he does? What fair have you been to? I don't believe you.
I've been to fairs all around.
List one.
Have
you gone to the Syracuse?
I've been to. I haven't
State
been to
Fair?
the Syracuse State Fair, but I've been
Okay.
to. I went to a fair in Woodstock, New York.
Like,
I
what
went
type of
to-
fair are we talking? Like a
It
big
was like
fair?
a fair. Yeah, there's the
Rides?
Hester Street Fair in New York
Rides?
City. Yes, not the Hester Street Fair,
Okay, that doesn't count.
but
So you haven't been to
I've
a
been
fair.
to a fair. I have been to a fair.
Have you been to a fair like with, there's games?
Really trying to pin me down here.
No, I'm not trying. I'm because I don't know if this story's going to apply to you.
Okay, well, let's
Do you
just
know
say-
what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay,
a fair,
so-
yeah, carnival, like a little, like
Right.
you know, like the
Have you
start of the
seen it?
Notebook, the
The
movie
point-
when they're on the.
The point is,
yeah.
yes. Do you know the game where it's basketball, but it's like really high up, and it's like
Yes.
the long net?
Yes, the long net. That's like a tube. Yeah,
And
yeah.
the hoop is not a circle; it's like an egg. Like the rim,
Yes.
like it looks like a
I know-
regular basketball.
I know what you're
hoop,
talking about.
But
yeah.
they're like legally allowed. They're legally like have to show you, at least in the state of Washington, like what the hoop looks like.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is not a regulation basketball, and they show you the hoop right before you shoot it, and it literally looks like a football. Like, it's almost
Yeah.
impossible to get it in. Anyways, after trying for years, junior year of high school, finally make the shot from like whatever 10 yards out, and if you make it, it's like the jumbo prize.
Right.
And the jumbo prize was this giant avocado that was almost as big as
Wow.
me.
Wow.
Like it's that big of an avocado, and smiling.
That's.
And then I used that 2 years later for a white elephant gift exchange. That's
Wow.
what my prize was. I re-gifted it, and now one of my friends has it.
Yeah, that's.
A giant avocado. Isn't that cool?
That is cool. That's cool. Good story. Good story, man.
Have you? You've never been to a fair? So
Yes, I have. I have been to
a
a fair.
When?
I went to the 30 seconds. I've been to the I've been to the Hester Street Fair. I've been to
We're not using Hester Street as an example here.
There's only a few people that know what the Hester Street Fair is.
I don't know
Look
if
it
I
up.
know it's not.
Hester Street.
I know it's not. Snoop
Yeah, Hester
Man
Street
says, "Who
Fair.
gets a Reuben with lettuce?"
15.
Yeah, I don't, to be honest.
10, 5, 4, 3, 2, and live.
Welcome back to Newhouse After Noon, everyone. Alongside Geralpa, I'm Milo Hoffman. On Thursday, February 5th, we've talked a lot of hoops so far. Syracuse men's basketball, women's basketball, even some Knicks making a few trades in the last couple of hours. But now it's time to switch gears to Syracuse men's lacrosse. And we could also mention Syracuse women's lacrosse, who's in action tomorrow to start out their season. It was good to see the men's team back in action.
Jumping right into it. I like it.
Jumping right into it. Against Boston University, they jumped right into the season themselves.
You okay there?
A big win against
Do
a
I have to
ranked
call
team.
anybody?
No,
Okay.
you do not need to call anyone. But Syracuse men's lacrosse sure called on Joey Spallina a whole lot in their opening game. A hat trick, 5 total points for Joey Spallina. And now he's 56 points shy of tying the all-time points record for Syracuse men's lacrosse.
Look at your prep.
And, you know, it is truly refreshing to see a team like Syracuse men's lacrosse in action on a season where it's just been a struggle all around for pretty much every sports team.
Yeah, it feels like
But
every
men's lacrosse is
conversation we circle back to men's hoops because it is a hoops town at the end of the day. But it's also a lacrosse school for sure, right?
Definitely.
And lacrosse in general, just not as well known of a sport. But here in Syracuse, it's right there. It's right behind basketball in prominence, and a much better team, top 3 in the nation. This is it. This is the year.
The last hurrah.
And I'm sure it's been talked about, quite a bit over the airwaves already. But Joey Spallina, Michael Leo, the list goes on. This is it.
Yeah.
So where do you go from here if this season doesn't end at the top?
You have to restart
right.
almost.
Yeah. So it feels like this is movie number 1 of the Gary Gates saga, where it's like we're reaching the climax. And will there need to be a sequel where this whole thing gets rebuilt, or does this movie cap off perfectly with a big win for Syracuse at the climax? I don't know.
You sure hope that it does end with a big climax, and that would be winning the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2009.
And the team looked good. And Mullen is going to be key, and he looked great.
I think it was key. I think it was key that Syracuse.
At DX, rather.
Yeah.
Is that terminology?
I think it was key that Syracuse started off against a good team in Boston University.
They didn't look great, but
they didn't look great. But the number 17 team in the country, and in past years where SU started off against the Vermonts of the world, the Jacksonvilles of the world, like
Manhattan.
Yeah, that's not gonna really do anything for you. But you start against a team that's really good,
Right, and now you're getting to St. Joe's.
and now you play St. Joe's, who's not very good.
No, but can I say something really quick about St. Joe's? Yes, not great. 3 losses end of the season last year. Week 1 got canceled for St. Joe's, so we don't have a lot to go off of. But last year in game number 2 for the Hawks, they played Duke, a top 10 team, and lost by 2 goals.
Yeah, it's true.
They lost 11-9.
It's going to be, listen, every game that Syracuse plays, they cannot take their foot off the gas. And that's the bottom line.
And Syracuse is going to win this game handily. My point is, you step on their throats right away. You don't let them in the game, and it should be fine. After that, though, this schedule is brutal.
Yeah.
My goodness. From everything from the road trips, back-to-back, like 6 straight road trips, I believe it is. You'll play 3 Ivy League opponents.
And you play number...
It just gets ridiculous.
Yeah. Maryland, Harvard, Princeton, Penn. It's unbelievable.
Just list Maryland, Harvard, Princeton. That is an NCAA tournament lineup.
Yeah, for sure.
That is literally
it's the best teams in the nation.
That's literally 3 teams Syracuse played last year in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
And you're facing them in February.
And Gary Gate clearly did this on purpose, obviously.
Sure.
And he wants this team to prove that they can, do what it takes to win the championship.
Yeah.
And if they can do that, if they can beat these teams, then this team is set up. Now, if they don't look good, then that's a problem. And that's a big problem. And I don't know where SU would go if they get blown out by Maryland. lose to Harvard. But I think this team is good. I think that
It's really good.
These are going to be really good games coming up.
Yeah, and I had a chance to talk to Gary Gay earlier today, actually, at press ops, and he was talking a lot about the potential of this team, but also how one game at a time is the mentality.
Yeah.
With that being said, most of the presser was spent on the fact that St. Joe's had game number 1 canceled, and just as a big lacrosse fan of the sport, but someone who played it and now coaching, Gary Gate was talking a lot about how his team was arguing to maybe move the season up a few weeks.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the sentiment that's going around the nation right now. If you don't know, St. Joe's game got canceled due to weather, but it was not just St. Joe's. It was most of the nation, because of the cold spell right now in the Northeast, that had their game canceled. And it's already a season that's been shortened because there are so many less games in the midweek compared to games on the weekend, because they want players, to get more equipped and ready for games health-wise and all of that. But Gary Gay is pretty much saying, look, gotta move the needle and change something up, because now
it is a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is a little ridiculous that this team has or the sport has had this many games canceled because of the weather. So I think moving up the season could be something that put into place in the future.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're taking a quick break here on Newhouse After Noon. Syracuse lacrosse playing St. Joe's. The women's team opens their season on Maryland. We'll preview that after this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Perfect.
Cool.
Yep. Sounds good.
Am I opening this up? Did I just open that up?
Yeah, you did.
I opened it up?
Well, there's 4 segments and 2.
Right, so you just opened that up.
No, I didn't. I opened up the first one. You opened the second one, third one, and now it's me.
No, you opened up the first one.
Yeah.
I did the second.
Yep.
You did the third. And now I'm doing the fourth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's why I was confused why you
you're
tossed
right,
to me
you're
and didn't
right.
just go to break.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're right.
Didn't know it was amateur hour here in the Newhouse studios. You want to play a game?
Yeah, let's play a game.
Let's do it. Let's do top 5 athletes on the hill, I'll ask you.
Ooh, I like that.
We'll go back and forth.
Okay.
One of our good friends, Griffin Bloomstein, says, nice math, Milo. And of course, Milo is known for his great mathematical skills. Short story for our Twitch audience. There's a running joke amongst the friend group here that whenever Milo says a somewhat obvious statement, it's thank you, Milo type of moment. And you have a few of those.
Yeah,
but don't we all?
Everyone has a few of those.
Right, but why do we make fun of you for doing them?
You tell me.
Right. It's like I almost feel bad for you. I
Yeah.
almost do.
You should.
I don't, but I almost do.
You have those moments where it's like,
What do you think our best inside joke is? Which no one cares about because it's an inside joke, but
there's a
that
lot.
just I think the strike calls are up there.
Yeah, I agree.
Whenever we do
that's
something,
not even that's not even like a joke. It's just like
yeah, that's like an actual thing we do. Whenever there's something questionable, that's said by kind of anyone, but specifically us two, we like to make like an umpire like call the strike on the outside edge. Like you could argue that you should strike me out right now.
Right. I won't, just because it's an example.
Sure.
But that is good. There's a couple good ones. But what about the that one? The transition.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
That one's been funny as of late.
That's good. You know, one of the worst inside jokes is Griffin Bloomstein's crickets.
That is really
That's
bad.
really bad.
Just not funny at all.
Yeah, crickets is bad.
It's not even an inside joke. It's just not funny.
Well, he's not the funniest guy. We know that. But he's really nice, and we love him for it. And it's okay. I mean, sometimes being nice.
Bloomstein used to have a show in Newhouse After Noon, and it's a great show.
Used.
And I remember because one of the really funny things about Griffin Bloomstein was that he actually put a wig on his head at one time.
Oh, yes.
Because they did like a funny thing every Friday or something like that. And yeah, that was a fun time.
Some of those segments. And
some of those segments.
My best part is that I feel like I'm in a zoo right now. But I'm the animal that's getting watched by said Griffin Bloomstein that's making these blasphemous statements.
But, you know, I'm excited for this game, though. I think it's going to be a fun game.
Also, shout out John Boccia watching in from up top. All right, just 9 more minutes here on Newhouse After Noon. It feels good to be back. Mm-hmm. You know, hop back in the chair. I feel like I feel like I just tore my ACL and I'm back on the court.
Right.
A little rust, but we're getting through.
Yeah, for sure.
Like coach, like I don't know if I can power through the next 9, but
yeah.
Your face got really red there.
It didn't. No, it didn't get red.
All right, am I making you blush?
No, not at all.
It is the month for, the 14th and all of that jazz.
Valentine's Day month.
Right.
There you go. Way to work through. Okay.
Welcome back into Newhouse After Noon. Drew Albaugh alongside Milo Hoffman up until 4, just 8 more minutes with you. Talking a lot of hoops today, some lacrosse. We can briefly touch on women's lacrosse playing against Maryland.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough contest on Friday. And, we talk about a tough start for the Thorpe era. This is right out of the gate, a Maryland squad that is going to be favored to beat the Orange.
Yeah, and the Syracuse women's lacrosse team is also looking very different. Obviously, the new head coach, Reggie Thorpe. You lose one of the best players in program history in Emma Ward. And, this team is really going to rely on a couple of
the draw control is still a big issue.
Exactly. Is Jolie Caramelli going to be taking the draws? You have Caroline Trinkus in the attack. And there's a couple players that are really...
could be taking it as well.
So who is going to take care of the draws? That's a big question mark coming in. How is SU going to fare in their first game against Maryland? Mm-hmm. Big question coming in.
Regardless,
obviously.
It's going to be tough. Top 7 Maryland team. Yeah. Syracuse opens up on Friday. All right. We're going to play a quick game in the last 7 minutes here before we jump off. We've been talking a lot about the big names. Donnie Freeman, J.J. Starling. You brought up Emma Ward. Now she's out of here. Joey Spolina. But we're going to do a draft, me versus you. And I wish this is where we had Alex Pohl, she's on Newhouse After Noon earlier in the week, but she used to be on with us, and it feels a little empty without her, that she could decide who wins. But we're going to go back and forth. Top 3 athletes on the hill right now, back and forth. Do you want the first pick? And no snake, so I'll just give you the upper hand because I think I got this in the bag anyways.
I'll take the first pick.
Okay, so go ahead. And what's the best athlete on the hill?
I think this is...
And if you pick Donnie Freeman, you were the biggest hypocrite of all time.
I think this is very easy.
I would agree.
And it's Joey Spolina.
Yeah.
He's, like I said, 56 points shy of being the all-time leader in points for Syracuse men's lacrosse. This is his season. He was ranked as the Tewaaraton Award favorite going into this year. If he pulls it out, he'll go down as one of the greatest Syracuse men's lacrosse players of all time. And I think even if he doesn't pull out the Tewaaraton, he's still going to be remembered as one of the greatest of all time. But the most important thing for him is he's got to win a championship. So we'll see if Joey Spolina can get that done, but he's for sure the number 1 athlete on the hill right now. I'm confident in that pretty
I'm pretty... I would be confident in that as well. I think I got to go to Lax because you went there. Mm-hmm. And I think Michael Leo is sneaky, really, really good.
I don't know about sneaky. Yeah, he's very good.
Yeah, not sneaky. That wouldn't be the right word. I think sneakily he's on the same tier as Spolina.
Ooh, I don't know about on the same tier as Spallina.
I think if you look at the raw numbers,
if you look at the raw numbers, what are the point totals there for?
It's right there. He's close in general. I'll get the specifics up for you, but he's going to be the tandem with Spallina. And yeah, he's quite a bit shy, 44 points. Maybe I don't go with Michael Leo in my 102. It's not a great start. Well, you caught me off kilter. I think I'm going Donnie Freeman. Hypocrite, Freeman, okay. I know. He's the best player on this basketball team. You don't want him to start. I'm not going to get persuaded by your ways. He leads Syracuse in points, just under 20 a game. Get drafted into the NBA. I'm taking Donnie Freeman.
All right, so you said no snake?
No snake.
So back to me.
Back to you.
All right, if it's back to me, I am going to go. This is a tough slot because, I think those two were definitely the favorites. They were the ones that, were going to get picked with the first two picks. I'm going to go with Nate Kings as my second pick. It might sound crazy, but I think Nate Kings Nate Kings has been arguably the most underrated player on this team this season. And I think that without Nate Kings, this team doesn't win nearly as many games that they have this season.
That winning games has really been.
I know. But he's been so good. He's been so good for this team.
That's a strike.
And so I'm going to go Nate Kings because he is the best on-ball defense on this team. And I think it's sort of like an under-the-radar pick, but I really do think he's that good.
You're hitting me back. You're hitting me back there. Shoot. Where do you go now? So you got Joey Spallina in the first round for you. I respond with Donnie Freeman. And now you're taking Kings to back up basketball. Interesting. I want to go women's basketball. And I'm battling between a few because, like we mentioned, there's just so many options on that women's team you can go to. There isn't a Deja Fair where it's just that's the clear 1A pick. I want to go Uche Izoje. I do. I think over Darius and Felia because I think Darius and Felia do, Darius is a little bit better of an on-ball defender, Felia more of an offensive threat. But, they're both a guard. They play similar roles. With this team without Izoje,
unbelievable.
Right. Like she leads the team in rebounds, multiple ACC Rookie of the Weeks, multiple ACC winning awards. I'm going to go with Izoje. She's been so dynamic despite her being just a freshman. So
that's a good
Milo
pick.
with
That's a good pick.
Spallina and Kings.
I'm actually pretty upset that it didn't go Izoje right there.
Yeah.
My number 2 pick.
Kings is not as good as Izoje, but Joey Spallina is better than Freeman right now for the general state of their teams respectively. All right, a couple more minutes here on Newhouse After Noon. Drew Alba alongside Milo Hoffman drafting top 3 Syracuse players on the Hill. Any sport draft, Milo Spallina and Kings. Drew's got Freeman and Izoje. Drew as in me. Talking in the third person again. Milo, what do you got in your last pick?
For my last pick, I am going to go, this is tough, but I'm going to go Dominique Darius with my pick right now because Dominique
Darius. So you respond with Wobamba.
Yeah, Dominique Darius is the heart and soul of Syracuse women's basketball this season. I mean, without Dominique Darius, this team, I'm saying that for every pick. Without Nick Kings, this team is nothing. Without Dominique Darius, this team is nothing. But it's true. I mean, Dominique Darius shoots the clutch shots, and she makes the clutch shots, as we saw against Cal and in so many games this season. She has turned her career around after spending a couple of years out in California with UCLA and USC. Dominique Darius is my third pick.
All right, I'm going to wrap it up, and I am going to go over to Michael Leo in the third pick. It's going to be tough here who to justify wins this. I got Freeman, Izoje, and Leo. Milo finishes up with Spallina, Kings, and Darius. I think I'd give the edge to you. I would.
I agree.
I think you got Darius who can match up with Izoje. Spallina is better than Freeman, and kind of a wash for Kings and Leo. All right, I'll take the L in this one. That wraps it up here on Newhouse After Noon. Drew Alba with my co-pilot Milo Hoffman. First hour in the books.
Yeah, first hour in the books. Good to be back. Good to talk Syracuse athletics with everyone tuning in. And we hope you tune in tomorrow, of course, and then we'll be back next Thursday.
Yeah, most importantly, though, tune in next Thursday, of course. Just Jokes, Newhouse Afternoon, 3 to 4, every single day. All right, back next week. See you, everybody.